Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Soaps, brought to you by thesoapshow.com. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be telling you what's coming up on your favourite soaps this week. Although we don't give away any big spoilers, please be aware that we do make reference to plots and storylines that have yet to be seen on screen. First up, EastEnders on BBC One. And Stacey tries to convince herself that she wants to have a baby with Bradley, but is she really ready for it? After accidentally defrosting the freezer at the Minute Mart, Patrick sells the contents to unsuspecting customers, and a familiar Albert Square resident suffers from food poisoning as a result. And Susie tries her matchmaking skills out on Max and Denise, but will they find any common ground? Over to the ITV1 soaps now, and in Coronation Street, Rosie's still furious with her mum and dad for not believing her story that John Stape kidnapped her. Janice and Leanne have decided to keep the lottery win to themselves and split the money. Stay tuned this week as they put their plan into action. And at the end of the week, Rosie has a surprise for Tony. But how will he take it? Over in Emmerdale, Jamie becomes worried that Louise is cheating on him when she keeps avoiding him. Louise confides in Terry about losing her ring and admits she's dreading telling Jamie. Meanwhile, David and Nicola agree that they should find a home together. And elsewhere, Ashley is concerned when Laurel falls asleep during one of his sermons. And on Friday, Lily's surprised when Peter turns up in a bedraggled appearance. Let's shoot off to Australia now for the Aussie soaps on 5. And in Home and Away, Roman's still not happy with Elliot hanging around Nicole, and he's sceptical as to why Elliot moved to Summer Bay. Meanwhile, Charlie's been checking up on Elliot, but's been unable to find anything that might interest Roman. But when Elliot later confronts her about watching him, she sees he has another side. A vulnerable Martha finally opens up to Jack about how terrified she's feeling about the paternity test results. What if the baby's Roman's? Will Jack want her anymore? Well, we find out this week when Martha discovers who the real father of her baby is. Elsewhere, Al's worried that Rick has made a mistake he'll regret for the rest of his life, so he fires him from the bait shop and gives him severance pay of a one-way ticket to Perth. Will Rick and Matilda end up together? Find out this week. And in Neighbours, Marco proposes to Carmela in heartbreaking circumstances. Declan and Bridget, meanwhile, are inspired to immortalise their love on film. And Lou takes Harold's love dilemma into his own hands by inviting the mystery woman to pay a visit to Ramsay Street. To Manly and Out of the Blue, Paul and Gabby get news about Gabby's pregnancy this week that has a dramatic effect on their relationship. Meanwhile, Tess goes into labour and has to bank on an unexpected guest, helping her to give birth. Stephen's struggling to understand how he didn't pick up on Tracy's horrible secret and wants to know how she managed to get on with a normal life after having killed 2 of her friends. And Emily wants to prove to Addo that she's getting her life under control, but Pia knows differently. And a roundup of the other soaps this week. In Doctors, Jimmy helps a gay politician who's forced to come out to his daughter when she discovers his secret, and that's just the beginning of his problems. In Holby City, the conjoined twins' health deteriorates. They need a separation op within 24 hours or they'll both die, and Lyndon has to decide whether to let nature take its course or try to talk the Tans into letting him separate them. In Hollyoaks, it's the grand opening of Tan and Tumble, but in spite of her best endeavours, Jackie is experiencing major problems. And in River City, on BBC Scotland and the BBC iPlayer, Ruth begins building some furniture to prepare for her baby's arrival, but no amount of preparation can help when her waters break and she looks set to give birth all alone in her flat. And finally, in the US soaps on Zone Romantica this week, Cassie pretends to be drunk in order to give Jonathan a false sense of security, while Edmund admits that Cassie helped him to turn his life around for the better. In Days of Our Lives, Tony brings surprising news of Stefano's whereabouts, and Isabella shows herself to Brady and urges him to follow his heart. And in The Young and the Restless, Sharon is stopped by police while Cameron's body lies in her car boot, and Phyllis begrudgingly hands over the orchid to Jack. That's it from 5 Minute Soaps for this week. Join me again from next Monday, and remember, you can sign up to our podcast from www.thesoapshow.com, soappodcasts.htm. Bye for now.